Then that way we can get started. But how was everybody with the sale today? That was insane. I
That
mean,
was crazy.
I was really impressed with the sale. Super, super impressed with how
Some
it
of that
turned.
stuff I've never ever seen before.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm so upset because when I took the video, like right after I did the sale, I saw that there was like an Aladdin. It wasn't the genie wax, it was the Aladdin wax. And I did not get it because I was so busy like scrolling that like even I'm looking back at what I missed and I was like, dang, I missed
I
a
know,
bunch.
I missed a lot of stuff too.
I was like, how did I not see that?
I was just surprised because I was actually talking about the Iron Man warmer and how I did not know that it had came out.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was so desperately wanting this Iron Man warmer. And then I saw it on the clearance and I'm like, oh, I had to bag. I was like, I am not going to miss this one. And the way that I was just like, oh, and then I was like, oh, I want this nightmare. I want this one. And I'm like, oh, I don't got that much money. I was like, I just got to pick and choose which ones I want for sure. So I got the lampshade because that awake lampshade went from $60 to $12. And I was like, I need myself another lampshade for my diffuser. And so I'm like, yes, I'm going to get it now.
And that's the pretty one. Like I got one last year that was speckled. Like it was like a rainbow speckle, but really all it was like confetti glued to the lampshade. And so when I got it, I was like, oh, it's not as cute. Like the picture actually looked cuter than what it was in real life. And I think for like a teenager or a child's room, it would have been perfect. But for like me, I was just like, and it's still sitting here somewhere. I don't even know where it is. It's like stashed away somewhere. But yeah, but that one's a really, really pretty one. So great snag. But I'm really excited. Like I saw the Light from Within. I've been eyeing it for a while now, but then when it was like it popped up for like $13 today, I'm like, oh my gosh,
I got that one. I love like minimalistic stuff, like white, black, gray. Like I like those colors, so I got it. Like to put in my house saving stuff.
Uh-huh.
I couldn't believe it was what was it, $45? It went to $13.
Yeah. And so I just, right before we jumped on here, I highlighted 3 things. The Fabulous Feathers one, which I got like a really pretty in real life photo for it. The Hope Blossoms, which I was never a huge fan, but I have a friend who does that like blue and white like mix look with her one of her rooms that she decorated it with. And then I did that Light from Within. So I highlighted those 3 with really great in real life photos. So but things are starting to fall off already. Even the mini warmers that was there before are starting to fall off now too. So they're all selling out. And then like I made the dummy mistake of going on and purchasing stuff from the consultant store. So I bought like 2 shirts and then they had a beach towel. So I bought 2 shirts and a beach towel but right before. So I spent like $100 right before the sale, only to go like into the sale spending a few more hundred. And I was like, oh my gosh, my husband's gonna kill me. Alrighty, so we are live. So today we're going to go over some samples and display marketing and vendor events. I am going to try and keep it like to the basics, but if you guys have any specific questions or anything, then I'll slow it down. Feel free to chime in. And really, I think the question was, Lindsay, help me make sure I'm like on the right track, is just like how to create like certain labels and stuff like that, right? Or were you like asking for something more specific?
Sorry, I had a little mini emergency here.
Everything okay?
No, so he just drops a couple of things on top of him, but he's good right now.
Okay.
He was trying to get into some of the little containers that grandma has here, and there was stuff on top and kind of flew on him, but he's good. It's just plastic containers that were here.
Okay.
But no, like, so as far as like the label making for the samples, because I know some that I've seen, like the Scentsy soak sample, like labels and how to label the scent circles, kind of like what Courtney has in the back of her scent circle, is like hang this up or something like that. She said 2x4 stickers, but when I try to do a 2x4 in Canva and switch it to like the Avery samples,
Mhm.
they are flipped sideways because there's not an up and down 2x4 that I could see on like the Avery
Okay.
stickers.
Okay, so we'll go over specifically 2x4s, and then I'll show you what I do. So everybody does it a little bit differently, and then the leadership page actually has a lot of files that's shared as well. As you start looking for those files on the Anchored Insight, you'll see how it's broken down to like everybody has a sticker for something. And sometimes they do really, really well with sharing it with one another, and then sometimes they forget to share, and then we go like 2 seasons without anything. But it's a great starting point. So we'll go over that. All right. So again, marketing uses, there's personal branding, there's sample marketing, events marketing, and then social media marketing. So there's different ways that we want to market and brand ourselves. Personal branding is like what we've discussed before, just making sure there's something special about you, right? Like I have my cartoon, Lindsay has her cartoon, Lizzie, you have your glitter effect when you do your videos and stuff. So everybody has something very unique and special to them. Samples marketing, incredibly important to try and keep your samples marketing consistent if you can, if you have like a color scheme that you'd like to go for. For events marketing, when it comes to doing things for vendor events, I like to make sure my marketing and display is nice and big so people don't have to question or search for those things. And then social media marketing, some people love to make it very unique. Lindsay and Lizzie, I've noticed both of you making lots of edits lately and just making it very unique to you. So that's great because now when people see it, they see it's you. But don't forget to lose touch with the real life photos too, because real life photos really, really sell. And sometimes if you get too lost in the marketing, people start looking at you as like salesy and not necessarily like sharing what looks like it could be coming out of your house. So they want to be able to like relate to it too. So social media edits, you can do any phone apps. I like to use Canva. I used to use Photo Edit, I think is what it's called back in the day. And then their flyers and brochures. I like to do mine on Canva, but there's tons of apps out there as well. I'm a huge, huge advocate for Canva. I'm also an affiliate too, by the way, but it never goes anywhere because I never market the actual Canva affiliate aspect of it. Labels from Canva, I always make it on Canva and then I transfer it to Avery. So we'll go over that part, Lindsay, so that we can find where the mix up is. I always do the rectangle and the circle. So I like to use like the rectangle labels that go on top of the mail, like the little traditional rectangle ones. And then I always do a circle label, but I'll do like a 3x3 or a 4x4, and then I can always shrink it when I bring it over to Avery. So, but the 2x4 is a really good one too, which I think I grabbed the number for that earlier. And it goes on the back of, I don't have it down here, it's upstairs, but it does go on the back of the Scentsy soap. So do's and don'ts, don't forget to slap your branding on everything that you hand out. And then I went over this in the video when I gave you guys your like welcome box as well. I slap a label on everything. What I made the mistake of doing that was not cost effective was I used pretty label on everything. And I realized now I should reserve my pretty label just for like the big holographic envelope instead of using it on every single sample pack. So for the sample pack, what I'm doing now is I'm using the cheaper alternative of just something that I'm printing myself that in black and white. And then I'll use my pretty cartoon sticker that I have professionally done and printed. I'll use that on the actual big marketing pieces instead of trying to use it on everything, which became very, very wasteful because I was burning through labels really fast. And then of course, slap your branding on everything. So cartoon art. I like to slap my cartoon on everything because I think it makes it consistent and I like consistency and uniformity. So, this is for the flash sale that we had today, which I ended up finding like a video form of it. I put my website on everything. There's my picture on everything. My hair doesn't even look like that, but I'm keeping it. But it's just easy for me to move forward with having a consistent message all the time. But then throw my face in there every now and then. So I look like a real person and not just like marketing. And then of course, this is my website, which I do the same. So historically, I started out using Linktree for my website so that it can connect all these little links and I can change it as I want to. I found out on Canva, the exact same thing exists. So what you're seeing right there on the right is actually a Canva site that looked looks a lot like Linktree. And then when there's a new catalog, I just drag in new warmers that I like, and then I use the new scents on the side. I like post them all there. And then like today, actually this morning, I changed that click here for 10% off, which was like my newsletter, Google Forms. I changed that to shop 48-hour clearance now. So I'm able to like in real time change it really, really fast in order to get people to, you know, basically like my theory is like 2 clicks. If it takes more than 2 or 3 clicks, then it's taking somebody too much effort and they're going to just give up. That is my dryer. Please ignore the sound in the background. Okay, so vendor events compliance. We'll go over some of the vendor events. Oh, actually, no, we're not going to go over that part yet. So this is where we're going to go into the training. So let me escape out of this if I can. Let me, okay, that was dramatic. I didn't want to stop share the whole thing. Escape. Okay, let me reshare and then we'll go over what I do when it comes to label making. Okay, so you mentioned, let's see, labels. So what sucks about this is Canva doesn't have like regular labels matched up to Avery sizes, I don't think. So I always end up having to go in and then I create a blank label. And then Lindsay, you said 2x4. So what I do is I go in here. Let's make sure it's 2x4 first before we move on, because I think I have the same label size that that Courtney uses. This one is, yep, 2x4. So this is the 18163. I don't know if you guys can see that right now. 18163. Where did everybody go? I'm still on right now. I see it. Oh, I know. I minimized everybody. Okay, so it's this one, 18163, which is the 2x4 labels right here. So it's a little bit bigger of a rectangle compared to a normal label. And so what I want to do is 4x2, because I want my width to be longer than my height, and then copy and resize. And so now this gives me, okay, now it gives me a good 2x4 or 4x2. And then you can make the label however you want to, right? And then this is where you can get creative and do whatever you want. Normally, if it's a Scentsy soak, I do a, let me find it, instead of trying to speak to it, soak. For my Scentsy soak, I did this one. So I ended up using circle labels on because I was being extremely lazy and I wasn't going to come down into my office to dig for the 2x4s. But you see how like I just kept it really simple. I went over to Elements. I found a girl taking a bath, like a cartoon. And then I was looking for, you know, diversity. So I took her with the brown skin, and, you know, there's so many different things you can use. And not all of them are pro. So I have Canva Pro, but there's tons of things like this girl right here. She's not pro. So she's actually free to use. This cute little girl right down here, she's pro, if you guys are seeing that clearly. And then like there's a ducky if you want to use the ducky. But, you know, like I just, basically what I do is I look for like inspiration on Google. So I'll go to Google and I'll find something like, or Etsy. I'll go to Etsy and find what somebody else has done, like what verbiage they've used. So I just use relax, soak, and unwind with Scentsy Soak. And that was basically me just doing like a very quick Google search on what people are using for their soak products. And so I look at another business, that's how they're wording it. I like the way it's worded. I might tweak it a little bit and then I turn it into my own. And then this one right here, End Your Day with Awe, formulated with pink Himalayan, that's ripped right off of Scentsy's website. So I didn't have to do a whole lot of thinking for that. That is copied and paste right over from Scentsy website. And then I tried to stick to my Miami Vice colors with the pink and teal. And then this one was the Make a Splash soak. And then here's the ingredients for it. And then boom, that's done. So I could have, let's see how crazy this looks when we try to do a 2x4 in inches. No, 4x2. let's see how this looks when I recreate a new one in a different size. So we're going from circle to rectangle. I'm a little nervous. Okay, that's not terrible. Everything's kind of still in the center as if it was a circle. So I can take her, I'll move her over here. I might make this a whole lot bigger. There was a circle in the background. Okay, so I would take this probably and make it super big so that it fits here. And then make that bigger and just play with it until it looks good. And like, it doesn't have to look, oh, that is like not centered. Oh, okay. That needs to be centered more. There you go. So, you know, and then because I know I'm already going to have another sticker with my label on it, I'm not putting my label here. However, if I really wanted to, I could definitely do that. And then just throw in my website down here. And then I won't have to use a second label on here. Okay, that's that. So let's go ahead and download this, and then let's move it over to, I'm gonna do a transparent background so I get like the most raw file. And then I already have Avery open up. Am I on the right track, Lindsay? I wanna make sure I'm on the right track. And so we had mentioned it was 18163.
Yes,
I can't
you
see
are.
it. Perfect. 18163 was the template that I purchased off of Amazon. So I'm going over here to Avery now, and here's products, here's templates. I want to use the template because I already have the labels in my possession, right? And here for start designing, and let's hope everything aligns perfectly and we'll have a good 4x2. So this is, I think, maybe where you had an issue, right? Where you have a vertical versus a horizontal. So we made our design horizontal, like the horizon. That's how I remember it. V is vertical because it goes up and down. And then the other one's horizon. And you can either do edit all or just edit one at a time. And in this case, let's just say I'm making a whole batch of samples. And so I'm going to do edit all. And then down here was where my Scentsy Soak label downloaded. So I'm going to just drag it and drop it over. And boom, it looks like it fits. So, whoops. There's your, so I look like I'm exceeding my safe barrier. So I'm gonna just make it a little bit smaller, drag it to the middle, and that's it. And then when I print, it should look just like this for me to put across my bags. Is that helpful?
Yes, it is.
Perfect. Okay. So, was there anything else you guys wanted to see regarding label making? This is, so let me see something else that I may have made. X this out.
So how did you make the video labels that you had for like that flash sale 80% off, and how it like did all that
So
fun stuff?
I this is what I did. I went here last night, and I did flash sale. I literally I am not going to recreate the wheel if there's already something. So I just hit flash sale. I was like, let's see what's there. And then where'd it go? Okay. And then once I got here, boom, you see this right here? So this is a pro version. However, if you don't have the pro subscription, you can still pay for the pro version, which might be like $1 or $2, depending on what on here is pro. And I bet anything what's on here that's pro is the video part. So if I didn't have pro, I can still go through and create it. And then it's going to tell me on the right-hand side, it's kind of like your pro version will cost you this much money or something like that. I'm not quite sure like what it says, but I went in here, and so I already have like my logo sitting in a little folder over here on the left. So let's see. And by the way, I have Celeste's arts too that she's done for people. So let's just play with that. Like, let's say, okay, let's go ahead and use Courtney. This is Celeste's, Courtney's thing that Celeste made for her. So let me just downsize it because the girl always saves it super big, and I keep telling her it's way too big. But okay, this is Courtney. We're gonna make her a flash sale during Christmas. And oops, back button. So Courtney gets to stand right there. And then I'm gonna make this. This is Christmas, so let's go full Christmas mode. Let's go green. And then this up here, let's make it red. Let's make it red. And then I just start changing out this information. I hit download and it's done. So it's like, it's already there, you know, like I am not, like people have already created these to share, or Canva has made these. And so I just go in here and I steal something that looks really good because it's, you know, free for us to use. By the way, it looks like Ramadan's coming up.
Lindsay, if you don't have Canva Pro, like I haven't paid for it, but I did something simple. I don't know if you can see, but I did this on TikTok. I don't know if you guys can see, but it kind of like types the words.
Yeah.
Like, I just made something simple. I don't have Canva Pro, but I still made like a little, you can make a little something if you don't have Canva Pro.
Yeah, I think because I try to do the Canva Pro mostly on my phone. So that little 50% off didn't even show up on my phone when I was searching for it.
Oh.
Or if it did, it just looked like an actual just picture, not an animated video. So I think when I start doing some of or most of my samples or, you know, post and stuff like that, I think I need to do it more on the computer than my phone.
And let me see. Okay, let's use this little doggy guy. And let's say we're making a dog product. I don't think this was pro. I didn't look. So this is not pro. It's not popping up. So the little crown on the bottom left corner is pro. This dog was not pro. So let's see what we can, let's pretend this is a Scentsy dog something. I can go over here and I can do effects and I can make it glow. I can make it like neon backdrop. I can make the letters, like the fonts really different. But what I really like is animation. This is where you can get your videos. And I don't know if this is a pro version or not, but you see how like me clicking on these different things, it makes it animated. And I think this is what Lizzie was speaking to right here.
Yeah, that's what I did. There's not a lot of options with the moving text, but there's a few that looks pretty good.
And so you're going to find what you like. And then each time you come back, you're going to find like, you don't want to keep changing it up. You're going to want to just keep making the same thing. And so this is what I do. This is, you know, once you make one template, the rest is easy to make. So because you're like so used to it already, it's like muscle memory. What else is there? Okay, scheduling. So I just found this because Janelle mentioned it. So I go over here, right? This is where you would normally download. Let me move you guys so I can see. Instead of, oh, this is a pro version. Okay. So she found this scheduling right here. So click on schedule. And let's say I want to schedule this for tomorrow. No, give it Saturday so I can remember to take it off tomorrow. And then select the channel. So I've already connected my Facebook channel and my Facebook group. And let's say I want to put it into my group, and then I say, wow, whatever font word I want to do. And it is scheduled for tomorrow, no, Saturday the 19th. And let's just say like 10:24 a.m. is when I want it done. So this is where Lizzie, I was mentioning there's a, wait, who was I talking to? No, Lindsay. You guys and your names are too similar. Oh, Lindsay, I mentioned to you, this is what Kate used for her self-scheduling. So when I'm at work, this is what I do. Like I have things scheduled for Tuesday, for Monday, those Monday ones that I find are really funny. Or like, you know, when you're like, you're in the mood and you're kind of depressed, like I find those and then I'll just start scheduling for upcoming Mondays. But I used to do it just directly on the group page, but now you can do it here. So you don't have to download, take it to the group page, do it there. You can just straight up share from here. Now, I don't know how much that's going to cost extra if you don't have pro, like if it's like $1 per post or not. So it may just be easier for you to continue doing it on the group page, but this is a game changer. If you guys end up taking this, taking it to the next level and doing pro next time, this is definitely a game changer, because then Saturday, I hit next. I say, wow, I add it to this channel. The only downfall with this is you can only post it to one place at a time on a given day. You can do one edit to one place ever. And then tomorrow, like if it posts already, then you can go back and post it to another page. But you can't do the same edit to 4 different pages on 4 different days. Now, if I had multiple edits, I can definitely do that. So I can hit schedule. And let's see if it shows you my calendar. Because I did one this evening as a test and it worked just beautifully. So go to content planner. And what's popping up here? Oh, so it's telling me right here, the dog one was scheduled for Saturday at 10 a.m. into this group. And my typing was wow. And then here I have something scheduled for tomorrow. So today, this posted tonight. I tested it today and that posted it, which was why Scentsy wax bars are amazing. And so it's already posted and it's published up here on the green, in the green. And then tomorrow I have another one as a reminder for people for the flash sale. And I have that to go off at 10 a.m. No, I want it earlier than 10. I want people shopping before work. Okay, 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. And it's going to go to my 2 cents group page instead of, yeah, I'll make it go here. So don't forget to check out the sales, and save. So that's pretty awesome, right? Hopefully once you guys get to the point where you're using Pro, let me delete this guy. People are going to be like, why are you talking about exercise for dogs? Can I delete? How do I delete? Delete post. So boom, it's gone. So this is really exciting. And I can post multiple things on one day. Like I can post something else right now if I wanted to do this one. I can post it again on the same day. I just can't post the exact same edits on different days. So that's the only downfall. All right. So back to this one, presentation mode. Okay. So for vendor events, were there any other questions for labels? Did I go through it too fast or was that pretty straightforward?
I'm good. That was actually great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so for vendor events, I just pulled because now it's starting to get warmer again. They're starting to do vendor events. I pulled this information from our compliance just so that everybody's on the same page, understanding what vendor events are and what's not. So pretty straightforward. They're temporary events like fairs and shows. They have a clear beginning and end date. They are not more than 30 days. They are not held in a retail location, and they include multiple vendors. And you are on by a third party, not you or Scentsy. So that's the only thing that I'm like, what if I threw a vendor event, I couldn't do it? I don't get that part, but you know, I'm not there yet. So most farmer markets and flea markets and trade days are not temporary events. So just be careful of that. Like we have, for example, a youth fair facility here that has long-standing vendors that are like, they basically rent out the space for months and months at a time. And so that's not considered a vendor event, like a temporary event. And then down here, they have small event exceptions, and then fair or show exceptions, or fair and show examples as well. So if you want to look into those details, you can always go back to compliance and look for that. But generally speaking, it's like 30 days or less, and it has a clear beginning and end. And typically, you may even break down and set up each day too. So that's what they consider temporary events. Lindsay, you found it because somebody mentioned to you, and let me know if you found other and navigated through other. I've looked at Eventbrite and I have found a gazillion events, but none of them look legit. You know, like some of them are just kind of somebody put it together and they're hoping a couple of vendors will pay for tables. So what I ended up finding was following other crafts artisans around here. So if I find one good event, I'll go onto their Instagram page and follow where they've done it, and then start kind of like snooping and seeing which events they've done and start checking out those events. Because if they're doing it, that means they're having luck or success at those events. And so I want to kind of like mimic what they're doing, like girls who make cookies or vegan baked goods, people who do like specialty plants or something like that. Like I followed a couple of different vendors, jewelry makers. Those are really good ones too. Because if there's a jewelry maker, then there's somebody looking to pay more money for something very special and unique. So I always like to think like that. If they are soap makers, that's a good one too. If they're candle makers, that's usually a bad one because people will go to the candle maker and not us. So I kind of look at those, but I follow where they've done their events. And if they are successful, then I'll follow them there. Okay. Next. What I do, oh, and I forgot to bring it in, but I print out big signs. So this right here is a standard 8 by, it's a standard like this size. And then I have a little display thing to hold it that I purchased from Staples or Office Depot. And then it says basically, let's get social so anybody can follow me. I probably should put QR codes on the right side of that one just to make it even easier. And then on the right side, I have scan here to pay. So 2 weekends ago, I ended up going to a vendor event and I purchased like homemade juice from this one lady. But when I asked her, how can I pay you? She goes, oh, Venmo or Cash App. I'm like, great, where's the information? And then she tells me, but when she says it with an accent. So I couldn't catch what she was saying. So I'm waiting for her to finish doing the juice. And then I'm like, okay, one more time. Can you please spell, your Venmo for me? So then she has to stop what she's doing and then she has to spell it out one by one. So just to eliminate the hassle, like having these on display makes your life so much easier. And the last time that I did a vendor event, I had a sugar daddy who didn't understand Venmo or PayPal or Cash App. So it's a good thing I had the Square app. So I just manually punched in the Square into the Square app information, and that Square, it's like another form of this, except I didn't have a vendor code for it, like a QR code. I just manually punched it in like a credit card charge at a store. So having these on display is great. So have them nice and visible. And then what I have mentioned, and Lindsay, you and I have spoken about this at great length. So once you start doing this too, you let me know what success you're having, because I think every demographics is going to be different, right? So I think everybody has told me wax bars is really important. And then I found at my event, essential oils were also important too, because I had a very holistic population there that was interested in the natural oils, the display warmers. And in this case, we had the discussion that, okay, but I don't have a lot of warmers for sale. And Scentsy does not want you to have an inventory. So what I came up with was do a borrow a warmer program. So if somebody comes and they purchase from the catalog and, it's going to take 10 days for them to receive their warmers, but they're really excited, maybe a good marketing point is saying, well, why don't you go ahead and take, this warmer that's used home with you. And then once you get your actual order in, then I'll take this back. You just have to make sure you don't break it or anything between now and then, And so feeling comfortable with letting them loan a warmer until they get their order in, and then you do the order swap would be great. And then if they fall in love with your warmer, you can just sell it to them secondhand. They're like, oh, but I really love this warmer too, I've grown attached to it. Then you're like, okay. And then you come up with whatever discounted price you want to give them just to like let them have that warmer. So now you're making them happy because they got their brand new warmer and they got to keep the loaner warmer. So, at a discounted price. So I think that's a great idea that you can do, but it's based on your trust system with whoever it is you're speaking to. Have catalogs and samples ready to hand out. Lindsay was a great example of this. A couple of days ago, she posted pictures of like a stack of her, or maybe you just shared it with me privately, but like a stack of everything she's already put together so that when somebody walks by, all she has to do is go here and then hand it to them. She doesn't have to stop and make anything. Like that's perfect. Scent of the month samples, give away your old samples, anything that's been lingering around, just start making samples out of them and hand them out. Clean samples, laundry samples, and pet samples. If you're going to do pet samples, add a cheap milk bone in there, right? Like you can go to any pet store and buy a milk bone for a couple bucks and then just throw like a milk bone in there. And those are going to be the best people for you to start talking to because animal lovers love animal lovers. So if you see somebody with a pet at one of the vendor events, walk up to them and say, hi, oh my gosh, she's so cute, whatever. And then just say like, is it okay if I give them a milk bone? And then, you start those relationships that way. And then consider having a pet water bowl as well. So if you are going to be giving out pet samples, make it very pet friendly. And if you make it pet friendly, you just brought in a group of people that, are going to gravitate towards your booth a little bit more. A raffle box. So have a raffle box ready and raffle off what you're comfortable with raffling off, whether it's free deluxe samples, whether it's an actual warmer. It has to be no pay to play. So anybody should be able to put their name into that raffle box. Make sure that I'm going to go into it in the next slide, but make sure that the raffle you're using takes their information down, their name, their phone number, their email, because what can you do? You can text them and you can email them specials all the time, forever and ever after that. So you want that information. Add a coupon to their raffle. So if their raffle is a terrible raffle, the one that they take back with them has a coupon on it, and make sure they know there's a coupon that they can come back and purchase. And then add your social media to it. And then like a sniff and order table. So I'm going to go over these visuals in a little bit, but have like a little area where people can smell all of your samples as well, in case they've never had Scentsy before, or they've never smelt the new stuff yet because they haven't made a purchase in a couple months. And so have a table with internet connectivity, whether it's using like an iPad or a laptop or anything like that, so that they can order directly from your website. And then housekeeping rules: bring paper towels to absorb wax on display. So if you're using wax and you're displaying it at the vendor table, always bring paper towels, because if you don't have anywhere to pour the wax out when you leave for the night. So this is the raffle ticket that I made, and you can tear it off right where the gray turns from light to dark. And what I'm asking for is just their name, their phone number, and their email. And if they're not comfortable putting their phone number, just an email, so that I can follow up with them. And then on the right side, the dark gray is where I tear it off and I hand it to them, and I'll just let them know, here's my name. My name is Jasmine. Also, this is a coupon as well. If you plan on buying anything in the future, please let me know, and you can take $5 off your next purchase of $50 or more. So make a coupon or some type of special that's you're comfortable with. And then that way they hold on to it instead of throwing it in the trash when they walk around the corner. So do's and don'ts. I'm going to go left to right, left to right. So don't take pictures showing more than 10 different items. So Scentsy compliance states that if you're going to do a vendor event, you cannot take a picture of your full display, because you can only have 10 items of different things on your table. So same thing goes at home as it does at a vendor event. So what people do is when they take a picture, they'll stand in front of it and they're like, hey, come see me today. And then it's a picture of them with the table behind them, and you really can't count how many items is behind them. Don't post on social media telling them you have a massive inventory for sale at the event, because again, Scentsy does not want you to have massive inventory. So let them know, come see me and place your order. Scentsy wants you to say, to do catalog orders. They don't want to encourage you to have like 50 gazillion warmers out there. They want you to have a few on display and then promote the catalog purchases. Don't sit behind the table partially out of sight and hope people will come to you. So this is where you have to learn to step outside of your comfort zone and be a social butterfly, because if you sit in the back, nobody's going to come to you. You're not inviting. It's strange. It looks different. People have no idea what's going on in there. They don't want to step into your personal space because they have no idea where you're sitting, or they seem like you seem standoffish or anything. Do sit in a visible spot, or just stand there towards the front and then talk to people as they walk past. And don't remain seated. Do speak to people as they walk past. Invite them to come check out your items. If you have, if you see pets coming, offer them milk bones, offer them water, like a little doggy water bowl there at the front. And then do go live when you can. So when you're at vendor events, this is the perfect time for you to go live all day long. While you're there, but make sure you bring a charger, because if you don't, you're going to be walking to the corner store like I did a mile down the road to buy a new charger, because I brought everything but a charger, and I didn't even have one in the car. Like I didn't have a cube. I had the USB plug, but no cube to plug it to the outlet. So here is an example of the table display. If you had like 3 tables, down on the bottom is where the pedestrians are walking. So just to give you kind of an idea of what the display would look like. I like to do it in this U shape so that it's inviting. People can walk in and they can look around them. It's like a 360 view for them. The raffle display and the sniff and order station are towards the front, so it really grabs people's attention. They'll see the raffle and then they'll see the samples to sniff. And so that's a really great way to like bring them into your space. And then, don't try not to sit behind here, but try to just kind of be out in front and hanging out. And then here's a 2 table display. I just to me, I think it makes sense to have it on both sides, so that people can still feel invited and they can walk in. And of course, having the raffle display and the sniff and order station like right up front again. And then here is a single table display. I moved it a little bit farther towards the front by where they're walking so they don't have to go all the way into that canopy space. And then the sniff and order station and the raffle display. So that your table's a little bit more forward compared to like your peers on the left and right of you. And then that way it seems a little bit more inviting. And if you have limited items, then that's even better because then you are bringing it closer to people as opposed to having people walk all the way in just to look at your 4 items. Okay. Any questions or anything? Guys, we're flying through these. Okay, so upcoming reminders. If you haven't already, the succulent warmer for the warmer of the month is super cute. Last month with the Easter bunny, I took it off because I didn't like it. And then I ended up purchasing it on the first anyway. So I was just, whatever, that was me. Once I saw like in real life photos, I was like, oh, it's kind of cute. I like it. And so make sure you get those orders in if you haven't already. Current limited time offers that's out there is, I believe Baymax is still out. Turning Red is out. I'm shocked. As much controversy as there is with Turning Red, I am shocked people have not purchased it like crazy. The Dumble Warmer is still out, and the Dumble Buddy should be coming soon. I'm hoping next week or something because I have somebody already wanting to order that. And then pre-order redemption for Harry Potter still exists, so keep a close eye as they start closing that gap to that 4/30 date. There might be a couple more Harry Potter warmers coming up for sale, and people are like, it's highway robbery right now on those illegal sites like eBay and stuff. There's a whole black market for this right now, and it's absolutely insane. Okay, so clearance is happening now up to 80% off, and things are going quickly. Exclusive early access for consultants is next Monday, Chase the Rainbow Wax Collection. No, that's happening right now. Yeah, I just purchased it, right? I think so. But it's happening now. Make those samples so that you have stuff to give away, and get people to start getting their pre-orders for that 4/11 drop. Scentsy Family Reunion in Salt Lake City. That is, I'm not sure. Is anybody going? Like for sure? Are you?
I might do the online one. I haven't decided yet. I think that one's like 150. I'm still trying to decide. It will be something like World Tour, won't it?
Yeah.
Like the online thing. Okay.
Yeah. I really want to go, but it's right after our Epcot and it's right before the cruise. And I am already purchasing more tickets for the cruise because I only earned 1 ticket for myself. And it's $2,000 per person right now for the cruise. And I still need to get flights. And I should have purchased flights when I looked at them originally last month because now the gas price is up and flights are expensive too. So I don't know. I'm just like hoping it comes back down, or I'm going to be driving from Miami to Seattle. Like, no joke. Like, it's going to be insane.
Yeah, I go to Paris in May 9th through the 16th, I think, and then our Epcot trip. So,
yeah. So then the Epcot trip is, we're planning on meeting up that Friday, June 17th. So anybody who's able to, please come.
Is anyone else planned to go? No.
I had planned to go, but the grandparents are deciding not to go that week for their trip, so I can't tag along. So I'm SOL on that part. So, but it's okay. But I did want to put in my 2 cents on the vendor events as far as like the sample table goes, because I'm very OCD when it comes to like being at shows and making sure everything has its own place.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the sample like table, because I thought about bringing all of my testers that I have, and what I got is it's like a 3-pack at Walmart for like 96 cents, and it's like the drawer organizers.
Yeah.
And I got 2 of those because it was 96 cents, and I am separating each, like the floral scents, the fresh scents, the citrus scents, and all the other scents. I'm separating them throughout those tiny drawer things. So if I and then I put like the circle stickers on top of it so they're easily labeled. And if someone says, oh, I like fruity scents or bakery scents, oh, well, here's all of our bakery scents, here's all of our fruity scents. And then since there's not a lot of spices, I'm just getting like one of my 5x7 sample bag and just putting my spices in that one and laying it on the side.
Mhm.
And then I just bought a whole bunch of the Scentsy felt samples. And then I'm just going to start sampling out the All Is Well collection, the Color Rainbow collection, and the what's the other one? The Scent of the Month that I'll be getting as well, and just handing those out. Because I was going to do the crinkle cutter, but then I was like, I'm going to be wasting too much, wax bars on this event. So I just decided to go more towards the felt samples.
Yeah. And those felt samples go a long way. Like, it's crazy. So yeah, thank you for your input. I'm hoping to be able to do more. Right now, our events here are mostly Friday nights and Sundays. And so I just picked up Derby, and our training is Friday nights and Sunday nights. So I have to find somebody that does it on a Saturday and make sure I'm actually free and available. At least do it once a month or something to expand my circle. Alrighty, so open discussion. What are you working on? Anybody doing anything fun? And then I think both of you guys had something that we were gonna go ahead and talk about. Let me go ahead and close out of YouTube because I don't think we need that to keep going. And how do I X out of YouTube?